Hello everyone and welcome to another HeroForge video. It's been a minute. Just ignore that. If you're new here, my name is Big Bear. I create HeroForge content to help the tabletop community and sometimes stream on the side games such as Animal Crossing New Horizon and Animal Crossing Newer Horizon. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 tips you can use to improve your HeroForge model characterization. Without utilizing these tools, your miniature may not stand out the way you want it to, and by golly, it deserves to be treated like the little princess it is. Not you, Grandpas. Your time will come. Anyways, let's get into it, because
there's no time like the present.
Tip number 1. Don't just strike a pose with your miniature, tell a story. It's very easy to pick the coolest looking stance, do a few advanced adjustments, and call it a day, but what if you could do a whole lot more? Creating a scene within your miniature can capture some essence of your hero or villain's story. In this example, Orion is on his knees singing towards a gravestone, one of the items you can put in the ground. I've added his jaw to be slightly ajar so it looks like it's open, and his eyes looking down so it looks like a solemn scene. Now, though the story it may convey for others might not be exactly as your backstory, I think everyone would be able to tell that in this position and given these circumstances, he's definitely going through something or has gone through something which is the epitome of his character arc. With this next miniature, Galadenis is a very sneaky minotaur, but perhaps not as sneaky as he wanted to be, with his hands down in an amateur style and cocky looking face thinking he's gotten away with it. You can see just below him a tiny little mimic is just about to grab some of that juicy biltong. This plays true to a real question. Is he as sneaky as he thinks he is, or is he more of a failed ninja than he would like to be known as? In this next example, we have Bruscus Brutehammer. Now, his clothing and attire is very simple. However, we do have his head cocked, we do have a lantern out, and we also do have blood on his feet, almost telling a story of what he may have just walked in on or approached, perhaps during the later hours of the night. Tip number 2 is adding decal clothing or items that might contradict or contrast with your character's theme. Here we have Rigorous Happy Hour. Now, Rigorous has been captured, clearly. What I added to Rigorous to contradict his almost maybe criminal essence or theme here is actually some lime green freckles on his face and some glowing, beautiful green eyes, almost to give him this charm to him. And though these details are actually very small over his whole miniature, he's got the dirt on his chest, he's got these tattered clothes, it still rings very bright and very vibrant, though small. Now, tip number 3 is highlighting your magical weapons and armor with a unique glow effect to make them stand out. With this warrior, I created 2 different color schemes for the 2 different horns. One where it was more connected and it had that underglow, and the other where it was broken. So to get the effects of the horns, let's start with the left one here. I chose the yellow teeth horn and I moved down for coloration. Now for low, I chose the highlighted color I desired, and then mid and high, I chose somewhere in the middle of the color that I wanted for the horn. Choose to your discretion how you would like to do this. Then my roughness, fuzz, and opacity looks like this. Scale them to how you'd like, but this is what I chose. Moving down to metal, high, mid is just off, and low I've scaled all the way to the top. And then the most important thing, the glow. Now you want to move your mid and high to black, and then make your low glow the color of your choice as well. Very similar, if not a little bit different to the one you had chosen for the color itself. Now in terms of the glow, I've kept this just at a 0, but you can scale this however you want to give the lighter or darker effect. It will still make a difference even on 0. Moving up the scale, choose how you want, but it does make a huge difference. Now, when it comes to the one on the right, we can see here that that's a little bit different, and I wanted to make that unique because it is a glowing one. I wanted to make the essence of the horn broken and have that magical effect spilling out. For this one, we chose over here the grey that never comes out. Now, for this one, choose your low and your high to be relatively in the same realm for the color, and choose your mid to be roughly where that horn color was as well. Roughness, fuzz, and opacity look like this. I have changed it to metal, but you can turn that off if you would like. But just for a little bit more of that magical essence effect, I've kept metal on. and for the scales, they are high, mid, and low, all the way to the very top. Now, unlike the other one, the glow here is just bumped up a little bit here. I put it to 0.33, but you can mess around with this area. And for the glow effect, I've kept this pretty standard. The low and the high are just relatively on that glow spot, whereas the mid, very similar to how the color was functioned, is also just on the color of the horn, if not just below. Tip number 4 is showcasing your character's transformations. If you can do this, it will really make your hero stand out, and it will also give such an amazing miniature. Now, HeroForge doesn't have a ton of accessibility when it comes to naturally adding items to create these transformations. However, there are some cool ways you can do it. Even on the Reddit page, there are some cool tips and tricks on how you can do these things. For most of this body, I had my character Barbados transforming into a dragon-like or reptilic-like creature. I was able to use some feet changes, some tails that were added, and some spells and additional arms on his right-hand side to create that extended arm effect. Then for the face, I just added some horns, roughed him up a little bit, and put him through. If you can create that transformation, perhaps you're a druid, perhaps you have the ability or an item to shapeshift in any formation, and you can showcase that in your miniature, I would highly encourage doing it. It looks absolutely wicked and unlike anybody else's miniature on the board. Tip number 5, and kind of a simple one, but maybe not thought about, is use your creative resources such as Pinterest and the HeroForge Reddit website. If you want more realistic looking models, take inspiration. Yes, your brain will have a plethora of ideas on what you would like and how to create it, but that dome isn't going to have all the phenomenal information that these sites have. I use Pinterest to look up fantasy character templates in terms of their poses, and I use them to assist in my advanced positioning. And then I love to go to the HeroForge Reddit website just to see the creative genius that some of these people have done, using inspiration from both and perhaps some templates from the HeroForge Reddit website that people so gracefully give. You can assist your character building and development to gain your knowledge on how to build, how to do certain techniques where characters don't need legs or they can fly or float. There are some amazing resources out there, and use them to your advantage. Become smarter in building miniatures and create the best kind of miniatures you can. So if you want that boost, if you want that head start in developing amazing characterization for your HeroForge miniatures, do yourself a favor, jump on those resources and watch your skills and miniatures slowly but surely get better and better. Well, those were 5 tips to developing your HeroForge miniatures and their characterization. If you like videos like this, be sure to subscribe, be sure to like this and let me know. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.